All right, guys, welcome to the best, worst, and mediocre films of 2021. My name is Timothy Anderson. I am joined by my one of three of my best friends, Henry,
Hello.
22 Tiger Dude,
Hello.
and Taylor,
Film Fan
Film Fan
0599.
0599.
It's my man. It's me, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. How? Thanks, Timothy. I don't think I've ever been on your channel before. Maybe I have.
No,
I
no,
don't know.
actually, this is the first time I've used this channel in quite some time.
To put it lightly.
Yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and do a live stream, no matter how many people watch it, which isn't going to be a lot, talking about the best, worst, mediocre, and well, basically our honorable mentions. Because man, there was a lot of great movies that came out last year.
We're
And
just
well,
going to be really talking about the movies of 2021. Honestly,
yeah,
that's
basically
what.
the movies that we liked, hated, were disappointed with, and thought were great, but weren't great enough to make a top 10 list.
Exactly.
So, without further ado, let's get started on our honorable mentions. Who wants to go first?
I guess I will.
All right, go ahead.
I will admit I don't have enough movies for a top 10 list. So when we get to that, I'm going to only have a top 6. But
That
but
works.
but I do have some movies that I really did like from this year that I do want to mention real quick. Actually, maybe a top 8. I have enough for at least a top 8. At least a top 8. But some movies I really like that didn't quite make it. I like the movie Land a lot with Robin Wright. I thought that was a really good movie. I saw that at the the virtual Sundance Film Festival because
COVID.
so that was pretty fun. It was actually a really good movie. I quite liked it a lot. We got a movie that everyone hated except me. Coming to America. I thought it was a funny movie. I enjoyed it.
I
I had a good
enjoyed
time
coming
with it.
to America a lot myself, actually. So
It was a fun movie. I
it was
really
Wait,
fun. Yeah,
coming in
it was a good
America?
hour and a half movie. Just hour
wait.
and a
What
half of
did Henry
comedy.
say?
I said I enjoyed coming in America.
I mean, sometimes you gotta come to America. Anyway, I really liked. I liked Reminiscence a lot. That was pretty good. Let's see. The
Think you're one of
Guilty.
the two people who like that movie, who saw that movie. Actually,
The Guilty was really good. A movie that's probably gonna make a lot of people's list, but didn't make mine, but still a really good movie. No Time to Die. I thought was really good. I quite liked that a lot. Very good film. Yeah, that's about it really. Just movies that I enjoyed. They're all of those movies are really good in my opinion. I quite enjoyed them a lot. So yeah, good shit.
all right, Henry.
All right, so there's movies I thought were good this year.
Yeah, your
All
honorable
right,
mentions,
all
ones that
right,
didn't exactly make the list.
all right. So this a the Netflix comedy Bad Trip, which we actually watched last year because it leaked, but it came out on Netflix this year. Really funny hidden comedy movie. Coda, really good Apple TV drama that was at Sundance. Black Widow, the first Marvel movie in 2 years, was a pretty solid entry. Annette, really interesting musical with Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, another epic Marvel movie that I actually didn't realize was coming out in September until I saw the trailer in front of Black Widow, but awesome stuff. Free Guy, really cool film with Ryan Reynolds. That good shit. That the Those Who Wish Me Dead, intense Angelina Jolie thriller. Uh, the epic Spider-Man No Way Home, which ties together all three franchises nicely. Got the Sopranos prequel, The Many Saints of Newark, pretty cool crime film. The fifth and final Craig Bond film, No Time to Die. The the got No in the Heights. The really good summer musical. Yeah,
That
Shiva
unfortunately
Baby.
bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one of the people in this group that we're in couldn't even spell the director's name right and kept praising the fucking movie.
Oh yeah. We got the directorial debut comedy Shiva Baby, really funny stuff. And the last honorable mention is the Pixar film Luca.
Ah, shit. Forgot about that movie. All right. 22 Tiger, dude.
All right. So for my honorable mentions, there's a lot I really enjoyed from here, but since Henry brought up, I'll just bring up Luca. I really enjoyed that one. I also really enjoyed Nobody, Monster, Gunpowder Milkshake, Zoe's Extraordinary Christmas, Army of the Dead, the Snyder Cut, obviously, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Fear Street in 1994 and 1666, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Encanto, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Those would be my honorable mentions.
All right. Mine are Ghostbusters Afterlife. Very good comeback for the franchise after the abysmal 2016 film. Zack Snyder's Justice League, which, yeah. Quiet Place Part 2. Cruella. Free Guy. Spiral from the Book of Saw.
Movie.
Last Duel and House of Gucci. Those are both together because of the director.
Yes.
Candyman. Mortal Kombat, which was a complete blast. And this one barely made my top 10. And being a huge fan of both franchises, one in particular, very shocked it didn't. Godzilla versus Kong.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Nice stuff. Nice honorable mentions.
I was very like Godzilla versus Kong was so close to making the top 10, but I had to something else took it over, so I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
I took
That's
it out.
another one I add in too. I had a blast with that one. Godzilla versus Kong.
All right. So what I was thinking we could do is talk about our top 10s each, and then we'll go up from there.
Okay, cool.
So, Taylor, if you want to start off with your top 10.
All right, let's start off with mine. Top 8. It's all right. Anyways, but my top 8, I guess, because I didn't have enough to make a top 10. But so am I just saying my whole list, or am I just saying one by one? What am I doing?
One by one.
One by one.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I'll start off with my number 8, and that is Godzilla versus Kong. Actually, funny enough that you brought the movie up. I had a blast with this movie. I thought it was great. It was everything I could have wanted, honestly, from a Godzilla versus Kong movie. Even the human stuff was actually pretty good too, honestly, which was surprising because usually it's kind of my somewhat least favorite thing about some of these movies, but it was actually really good here, honestly. I actually thought the dynamic with Kong and the little girl was really great. And of course the epic fight scene between Godzilla and Kong did not disappoint. It was incredible. So yeah, a really fun movie, honestly. I had a blast with it, and it was just great. I really enjoyed it a ton, honestly. So yeah, I thought it was pretty great. I had a good time with it. So yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong, number 8, baby. Woohoo.
Henry.
I'll move it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 22 Tiger, dude.
All right, so I guess I'll go on to mine. Well, I was thinking, since Film Fan said his number 8, should I just quickly say my number 10 through number 8, I guess?
Yeah, I'm going to do that too with mine.
Yeah, I think just to make it kind of easier.
Yeah. I was going to say, how are we going to make this work?
Okay,
yeah.
So I guess I'll do that. So obviously everyone should keep in mind that this is just in the moment because there are still more movies I have to see.
Right, yeah. Like he was saying, disclaimer.
Yeah, so just as a
We haven't seen
disclaimer, you know,
everything.
yeah, so these are just like in the moment where these movies are placed. But it's a good thing that I made this list ahead of time because I made this list on Letterboxd like 5 days ago, which is good because if I didn't, I don't think I would have been prepared for this video. But going on to my number 10 is a movie I don't really think anyone is really talking about, but I thought it was really good. The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. It's that Amazon movie with Catherine Newton, and I personally thought it was really good. It's another one of those time loop movies, but I thought how it was done was really cool. And obviously, I really enjoyed the romantic angle in it. So that'll be my number 10. My number 9 would be I Know, one of the most polarizing movies of the year. And you know, it could have gone either way for me too, in all fairness, but thankfully I really dug the hell out of it. Malignant. What a what a wild movie. Can I understand why people don't like it? Yeah, to be honest, I 100% can. That twist is still a twist that has not left my mind since I saw the movie. But yeah, it was just really well done. I just thought it was super well directed. I just loved the overall aesthetic and production design. Um, and, you know, I just really enjoyed a lot of the acting in it, and I just really enjoyed like where it led up to that twist. So, yeah, not for everyone, but Malignant is my number 9. And then my number 8 would be No Time to Die. Um, this movie really, really delivered. Awesome movie with some of the best action I've honestly seen last year. Just so well made. The cinematography is gorgeous. The opening is honestly, I do think it's the best opening of last year. Like, man, did Kara Fukunaga just go crazy with that opening. And of course, just Daniel Craig and everyone else just give very, very stellar performances. So yeah, it's a movie I was so hyped for. It did not disappoint. I really, really liked that movie. Awesome movie. So yeah, that would be my number 8, No Time to Die.
All right. Coming in at number 10 is Malignant, one of my favorite horror movies of last year, maybe my favorite horror movie of last year. I absolutely loved this movie. I loved how insane it was. Like Tony Tiger Dude was saying, sorry, like Tiger Dude was saying, I love the twist. It has never left my head. No pun intended. If you haven't seen it yet, spoiler alert.
Oh, that's true, actually. That's true.
But it actually left me kind of scared a little bit when I was watching it. Like I was like shaking at points. Direction, cinematography, score, and acting are really good here. And I actually got it from Christmas from 22 Tiger Dude, and I've watched it twice since then. I love this movie. Yeah, it's probably my favorite James Wan movie since the first Saw, horror wise. Anyway, number 9 is one that I'm surprised isn't really popping up on anybody's because it was so praised when it came out. Raya and the Last Dragon. A movie where I was literally sitting there for like 30 minutes contemplating whether or not I wanted to see it in theaters or spend $30 on Disney Plus and just buy it outright. In the end, I decided theaters. And I really glad I saw it in theaters because this movie is beautiful. And number 8 is In the Heights. One of my favorite musicals of last year, probably the best musical we've gotten last year because that's, let's be honest, not saying much. Besides maybe Tick Tick Boom. Absolutely loved it. The cinematography, acting, story are all great here. Henry?
Maybe he had to go do something, but
yeah, that's fine.
We'll
go on without him. That's fine.
All right. So hell yeah. All right. But is there any way you can fix this? This looks pretty distracting. Looks like we're the Power Rangers.
Yeah. There are different ways to fix it.
There.
Otherwise, now it's just focusing on me. Oh, maybe do it again.
Yeah,
Do it again.
I'm pretty sure the people want to see all 3 of us.
I don't know how to do this. Like
Okay, just click on what's random
wait, hang
until
on.
it works.
Okay, wait. I think you're getting there. Okay, now we're
Okay,
small.
okay.
But
You're
I
getting
think you're getting
warmer.
there though.
You're getting
Okay.
warmer.
There we
Okay,
go.
okay,
There we
okay.
go.
Perfect,
There
perfect.
we got it. There we
Okay,
go.
we're
There
good.
we go. Yeah.
We're good, boys. We're good.
All right.
I like the
There you
Power
go.
Rangers
All right.
look though.
That was funny though. But all right. You were saying about In the Heights.
I finished. So
Oh, okay. So I guess it's my turn again. Yeah. Coming at my number 7 is Nobody, baby. Nobody. Starring everyone's favorite lawyer, Saul Goodman. But in all seriousness, Nobody was actually a really great action film. I had a blast with it. I thought Bob Odenkirk is great in this movie. I loved him a lot in this. It was great to see him. Honestly, it was great to see him in a movie like this. Honestly, like I never knew I needed Bob Odenkirk as an action star, but nobody gave that to me, and it delivered pretty well. Honestly, I really think this has some of the best action of the whole year. Holy fuck, is it brutal? There's some. I don't know if Timothy has. Have you seen it, Timothy?
I saw it opening night in theaters.
Oh, okay, but like
I definitely have never
you
seen
guys know there's like certain kills that happen in this movie that are just like fuck. But yeah, like it's really great. Honestly, I had a blast with it. It's really well filmed, and if they decide to make a sequel to this, I would honestly be down for it. Honestly, I really would be, because like I had a blast with this. I think it's a great action film, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'd highly recommend it.
All right. So I guess I go next.
Yeah.
Neat.
Okay. My number 7, my pick would be Free Guy. I really, really like this movie. I think it's honestly one of the most fun movies I've watched in the summer movie season because, the summer movie season really hasn't been that great in my opinion. So this one was definitely one of the highlights for me. Ryan Reynolds, I really enjoyed him here. And, even though obviously I've really enjoyed him, it was kind of cool to see him at least a little bit stray away from the Deadpool isms. Like for the first 10 minutes of the movie, there were still kind of some of that. But then after a while, I really felt he disappeared into the character of Guy. And I just thought the character was so lovable. And I really love the romantic angle. Like, I actually think this movie would be a great, like, date night movie because I do think that the romance story in it is just so sweet. But then on top of that, you obviously have the video game aspect of the movie, which I really, really just fucking love. And the graphics and the action. Like, this is directed by Sean Levy, and it's crazy that's from the same guy that brought you stuff like Not at the Museum and all that. But
And
no,
cheap
I
And wrote
evangelism,
American
baby.
Pie.
yeah, but I gotta admit, like, I know it's crazy saying this, but I do think Free Guy has some of the like most well filmed action sequences. Like, I thought the camera work was actually really spot on by Sean Levy. Like, a lot of credit to him. And yeah, as I already said, it's just a visually pleasing movie, and it was heartwarming. It was really funny too. So many moments had me cracking up. Um, so yeah, it's just a movie that all around delivered, and I'm happy to say at this moment, of course, it's my number 7.
All right, my number 7 is A24's beautifully filmed The Green Knight. This movie blew me the fuck away when I saw it in theaters. I absolutely loved it. It was basically A24's ode to Lord of the Rings, if Lord of the Rings was a much slower masterpiece than it was. Um, Everything from the cinematography, the story angle, this is definitely a Christmas movie. Because I'm like Christmas, the angle, the story, the acting, especially from Dev Patel. It's a it's a great movie. Absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to guide it on Blu-ray. I have yet to find it. My work doesn't have it for some reason, so I mean I work at Walmart, so take that as you will.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure before I start talking. All right. So coming at number 6 for me, This is a movie literally no one else is gonna have on their list. I guarantee you, and that is Ultra Pop Live at the Megasonic. This is a concert movie, actually. So if anybody does not know, if you are friends with me, unfortunately you have had to hear me obsessively talk about the album Ultra Pop by The Arms that came out this last year. Masterful album and everything. Everyone should hear it. But they did a movie. They did a concert movie this year as well, which of course they performed a lot of the songs from that album along with some other stuff in their material, and it's a really unique and interesting concert film. Because there's kind of somewhat of a weird storyline that's kind of going with it as well. It's definitely a lot different and a lot more unique from other concert movies, because a lot of concert movies are just kind of straightforward performance stuff, which is all, always great. But there's a lot more going on with this instead of just the performances, and I really enjoyed that a lot. I think it's really well filmed. This is some of the best filming I've seen all year. The cinematography actually looks like really gorgeous with this movie, honestly. It's really great. The performances by the band are really fantastic. I really enjoyed hearing the songs from Ultra Pop played live, and I think all of them sounded fantastic. Honestly, especially Average Death, which I think was probably my favorite performance from the show. So yeah, my only real issue with this, I wish it was a bit longer, but other than that, I think this was everything I could have wanted from this. Honestly, it's well filmed, it's really well performed. The weirdness of it is really great too. So yeah, exactly with the crispy webcam, and yeah, I thought overall it was just really great. Honestly, I really enjoyed it a shit ton. It's a great concert film to obtain with a really fantastic album from this year. So yeah, number 6, Ultra Pop Live at the Megasonic. I keep on saying Megasonic, but
Megasonic Teenage Warhead Museum.
Exactly. But yeah, but that comes in at my number 6.
All right. My number 6 is going to be the documentary Val. I thought this was such a damn good documentary on Val Kilmer's life. It's definitely a documentary I really recommend watching if you're a Val Kilmer fan, because it really explores like his filmography and all the footages that he was able to capture like throughout the years, but has never ever shown until like right now with this documentary, which that's amazing the amount of footages he was able to have over the years. So yeah, I'm definitely glad he was honest. This is a very raw documentary. He definitely doesn't hold back on, some of the more harsher times in his life. He was 100% honest. He kept it real, and I really respect that. And honestly, this documentary, if anything, has made me respect him even more. Especially with everything that he's going through. With the tongue
Throat
cancer.
cancer, yeah.
Yeah, throat cancer. Thank you, throat cancer. So yeah, it's a documentary I definitely recommend if you haven't yet. Just it's a documentary that just had me really emotional. It was super informative, and it really delivered everything that I really wanted from this documentary. So that's why it would be my number 6, Val.
All right, coming in at my number 6 is The Suicide Squad. I absolutely fucking loved this movie. It is a complete blast from beginning to end, and I just want to say, Weasel for the win.
Yeah,
He's in it for like 2 minutes, but Weasel for the win. All he does is walk and drown. I mean,
drown.
look, the movie is a complete blast. It's everything that I wanted from the 2016 Suicide Squad movie. James Gunn, it directed the hell out of it. And Sylvester Stallone was perfect casting as King Shark. That was just probably one of the best castings I've seen in a superhero movie since maybe Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Or, yeah. I absolutely loved it. I hope to see it again. I own the Blu-ray. I just need to rewatch it, but I want to marathon the entire DCEU first. But absolutely loved it. I'm sad that it bombed at the box office, but we are in the middle of a pandemic, and it also released on streaming as well. So I kind of figured it was going to happen, but it's still sad nevertheless, especially how much work he put into it. Filming it entirely in IMAX isn't exactly an easy thing to do. So yeah, absolutely love the Suicide Squad. I hope to see more from it. But Peacemaker.
Yeah, we're getting that. I
That's
think we're
right.
getting that literally next week. I think.
Yeah, the 13th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are getting more from the Suicide Squad, but I hope we actually get another The Suicide Squad. And Stario, great villain. Absolutely loved it. Gave me my favorite kill of the entire film. Not going to spoil who it was in case somebody hasn't seen it yet, and I don't know who hasn't yet, but it's a great movie. Absolutely loved it. All right, you're good.
Hell yeah.
Next person.
Speaking of the DCEU, my number 5 is actually Zack Snyder's Justice League. What a movie, man. I'm really happy that this got released finally because, I'm a big fan of Zack Snyder. I think Zack Snyder is a fantastic director. I loved Man of Steel. I loved Batman v Superman. And it's a shame that in 2017 we didn't get, obviously tragedy struck in his life and stuff like that. And, he couldn't, finish filming the movie and stuff like that. And but then we got a very sloppily, very terrible, half-assed Justice League movie with Joss Whedon's version of it, and it was really fucking bad. So for years we were been like, let's let Zack Snyder finish his vision, and he was able to. It was released on HBO Max. I was so excited to watch it, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint at all. I think this is absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute of this movie. I think it's well filmed. I think the way it develops its characters, especially Cyborg. My God, Cyborg in this movie is really fantastic. I love that Zack Snyder absolutely let him be the heart and soul, literally flesh him out a lot in this. He is really fantastic. I loved him, and it was great. And also the Flash. I loved what they did with him. Especially the certain scene in the movie that it just gives me goosebumps every time I think about it. It's just a really fantastic movie, man. I loved pretty much every minute of this. I think it's absolutely incredible, and especially for a movie that's 4 hours long. I never felt the runtime at all, to be honest. I was so invested into everything that was going on. I think it's an absolutely incredible film. It's definitely one of my favorites in the DCEU, and it's probably DC's most epic comic book movie. Honestly, it honestly is. It's DC's most epic film, in my opinion. It's just everything the 2017 one should. It's what we all wanted from a Justice League movie. I think we were delivered with it. It's absolutely incredible. I absolutely loved it. So it comes in at my number 5.
All right, yeah, sorry, Tony, but bouncing off of what Taylor said, I too am a huge Zack Snyder fan. I have been one since I saw Watchmen for the first time. Yeah. Absolutely love Watchmen. The director's cut being probably in my top 20 favorite movies of all time. So I was really excited to see that he was getting his own cut of Justice League, and then I got even more excited when it turned out to be 4 hours long. So I knew the characters would be delved into more, and that we'd get the movie that we were supposed to get way back in 2017, which we don't talk about that atrocity. I actually threw that movie away. Believe it or not, I literally actually threw it away after I watched the Snyder Cut. And I hope we get the rest of the trilogy, but I doubt that's going to happen because Warner Brothers, if you're watching this, you guys are stuck up little assholes who won't give their director their own vision unless fans absolutely ask for it, or your name is James Gunn.
Unless they have Christopher Nolan. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they ruined that. So, I mean, yeah.
My man was like, fuck this, I'm going to Universal.
they'll let me film in IMAX, and Warner Brothers is like, we let you film in IMAX too. It's not the entire movie. But the 4:3 aspect ratio fit the movie perfectly as well. Made the movie look more beautiful, in my opinion. I didn't even notice the black bars about 15 minutes into the movie. I just stopped noticing them. All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right.
Sorry, I had to say it. I just love Snyder.
Boom. Is my number. Is my number.
Hell yeah!
I was like,
knew it
what
was
is he
immediately when you
doing?
did that. I
Yeah,
knew what that was.
Number 5. That's my number 5.
Hell yeah!
Just had to do that. I hope you all enjoyed that.
I did enjoy that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing I'll give 2021 that has made me happy. Is that we have gotten so many musical films. Like sheesh, like well, we've been treated so well. Like obviously those that love musical films, because before then, if we're even lucky, we get like maybe 2 musical films a year. And that's personally for me not really enough. So I noticed since the pandemic, I've noticed we've been getting a lot more musicals. So I just want to say how grateful I even am for getting that. But on the Tick Tick Boom, yeah, I think honestly this is like one of the better musical movies of last year. Andrew Garfield, I think he gives one of the best performances of his career and one of the best performances of last year. I would love for this man to get Oscar attention because he really did take my breath away with it. Everyone else is really good too.
Away.
Yes. Yeah, everyone else is
I
really
was gonna
good.
start singing "Take My Breath" by The Weeknd, but I kind of forgot the lyrics for a minute.
Everyone else is really good. Obviously, Vanessa Hudgens, Alexandra Shipp. Everyone is really good too. But yeah, Andrew Garfield, like man, he really told the story of the creator of Rent's story really well, and it's just sad that he passed away before he could actually see his Broadway musical Rent like really take off. But I was just really impressed with the overall filmmaking. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda's directorial debut as well, and I thought this was really great for his first time directing a feature. I definitely think he brings a certain vision, a certain lens to the screen that just really had me glued to the movie. And yeah, it's just truly a heartbreaking story. Obviously, I don't want to dive too deep into it for those that haven't gotten around to seeing it, but yeah, it's definitely one of the more unique experiences of last year, and I definitely think one of the more unique musical movies in recent memory. So it really left a very big impression on me. So yeah, something I definitely haven't forgotten since I saw it, and that's why I would put it in my number 5 as we are speaking right now. So it is tick, tick, boom. Thank you.
My man.
Okay. Spoiler alert for my number 5. So if you haven't seen it, I would avoid it. But all 3 of us at this point have had it on our list so far. So one could say that he did actually have time to die.
God damn it! God damn it! God damn it!
Bruh.
God damn it!
Bruh.
All right. No Time to Die is my number 5. This is everything a Bond
Hey.
fan needed. It is beautifully shot. The opening is probably my favorite opening of a Bond movie since Casino Royale. The acting is great. The ending is super emotional. Rami Malek, who a lot of people didn't necessarily like that much because he didn't really have much to do, and that is kind of true. He didn't have a lot in the movie. Is actually great here though because he's a great actor. The score, Hans Zimmer killed it. Just a super emotional send off. That's basically the dub song of Bond movies. I wish to God that this would be the final one because this would be the perfect final film. But nope, we're getting a reboot soon, another reboot soon, and we're getting a new Bond pretty soon too. I mean, I'm gonna see it. I'm just not looking forward to it as much as I do Daniel Craig because he's a Bond that I grew up watching. I've seen every single Bond movie that Daniel Craig has made in theaters, Casino Royale onward. I basically grew up with this guy. Every time that they delayed No Time to Die, which was like 8 times, I cried because I was like, I just want to see the fucking movie already. And all three of us didn't. None of these two didn't bring it up, but Ana de Armas is perfect in the movie. She is amazing, and she's in it for fucking 5 minutes. It felt like a Knives Out reunion too. It was a great movie. Absolutely loved it. And I can't wait to buy it. I just wish that he didn't have time to die.
Dude. Anyways. Yeah. Number 4 on my list. Is going to be The Matrix Resurrections. Yeah.
A lot of people are going to disagree with you on that one.
I don't care, baby, because this movie goes fucking hard. All right.
There's fans of it out there still. To be fair,
so this movie rules. Okay.
It is a great movie.
It rules so much. I absolutely loved this movie. I thought it was a great comeback for this franchise. I thought it was a great legacy sequel for this series. Indeed, with the crispy webcam, indeed. But yeah, I thought it was great. Honestly, I really loved pretty much every minute of this movie. I loved the meta-ness that happens, in the movie. That was great. Like, there's a certain joke that Tony hasn't seen it yet that I won't spoil for him, but there's a certain thing that happens. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, they're really going there. What the fuck? But it was really great. Honestly, I think Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss are great. In this, it never seemed like they left their roles. I think the romance between Neo and Trinity might be at its best in this movie. To be honest, I really loved it a lot. And I even thought the new additions were great. I always forget how to pronounce the dude's name that plays Morpheus in this movie.
Yaha Abdul Mateen II.
Thank you. He's great in this. I absolutely loved his more laid back, chilled Morpheus. I
love that. I love the part at the beginning of the movie. I'm not spoiling it, but the part at the beginning with him is perfect.
Oh,
same for Jessica Henwick. She's great too.
Oh yeah, she's great in this. I loved her character in this. She is so amazing. Jonathan Groff as Agent Smith was fucking fantastic too. I thought he really stepped into the shoes really well, honestly. Like, I like that he wasn't just trying to be a carbon copy of Hugo Weaving. Like, that's what I liked about both of the actors that reprise that take on roles that have been done previously. They're never like carbon copies of them. They're just like, oh, these are our interpretations of the characters, and are really fantastic, like and once again, hell yeah, crispy webcam, but it's great stuff. Honestly, the action sequences, this is by far my favorite action, honestly, of the entire of last year. I thought the action sequences were fantastic. So intense.
They definitely have the best action sequences of the Matrix sequels, because let's be honest here, it's not saying much. Unfortunately.
Look, Reloaded's not that great, but I do enjoy Revolutions. I do enjoy Revolutions. All right. But Resurrections, but I will say Resurrections is definitely by far the best sequel, in my opinion. I think it's really fantastic. I really loved it a ton. Honestly, I know it's not getting the best reviews, and unfortunately, it's not doing too well at the box office, which is a shame. But I think it's a really great sequel. I think everyone should check it out, honestly, especially if you're a fan of these movies. So yeah, I really loved Matrix Resurrections a ton, and it comes in as my number 4. I'll be right back.
It should have come out during the summer, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yes. My number 4 is another high-budget blockbuster movie. It's known as Coda.
Yeah, I think I saw that in IMAX. Let me think here.
No, but yeah, in all seriousness, yeah, my number 4 is Coda. I'd say probably, of all the, I guess, independent films, it's probably like the most memorable independent film of last year for me. And that's really saying something. But yeah, just this one just really spoke to me. I thought it was very well written and very well directed. I just thought the story of this, this girl, like she's literally the only one that can hear while the rest of her family is deaf, and how they portray that whole entire angle was genuinely very interesting. It's also really funny too, like because I had a virtual screening of this movie, but when I watched it, I was actually surprised how funny it was. There were actually a lot of points where I was laughing, especially with the dad. Those that have seen the movie, but the dad especially had me laughing really hard. And it's also just a very nice and emotional story too. And obviously no spoilers, but the ending was definitely just an ending that made me feel like just a lot, like it just made me really feel a lot. And I just thought it was just so beautifully written. Really love the performances. The actress Amelia Jones, I remember her from Lock and Key, that Netflix show, and she gives a really brilliant performance here. I don't really think her performance in this movie is really getting talked enough. I wish she was though, because she really is great. And honestly, her and everyone that plays the Deaf family, they're really just wonderful. And the cinematography too is just really beautiful. It's on Apple TV Plus if any of you have not seen it yet, but it's definitely my number 4 pick because I just think it's a really damn good independent film, and I'm really glad that I got to have a virtual screening for it.
Coming in at my number 4 is going to be Steven Spielberg's West Side Story remake, which I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for praising this movie when it has Ansel Elgort in it.
Well, in all fairness, this movie is getting a ton of praise. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The praise for this movie is definitely well warranted. Apparently, it's getting Oscar attention too, and I absolutely agree. This is one of the few remakes that I actually think is better than the original. I absolutely love this movie. When I went to go see it, I was suffering through a really bad migraine, but I was like, screw it, I'm still gonna go see it. And I was rotting for 2.5 hours, but my God, I loved it though. I was glued to the screen for the entire 2.5 hours, despite my head feeling like it was being pounded on by a sledgehammer. Absolutely love this movie. Acting from especially Rachel Zelger. This is her first feature film, and she's perfect. She's great. The music, the choreography, the score, the direction from Spielberg, which is a given at this point. Just it's so perfect. And this movie is it's so great. I absolutely love it. I want to see it again really bad, but unfortunately, it's not doing so well in theaters. I think it's only made like $30 million, and its budget was $100 million.
Yeah.
Which really sucks because it got full releases like in IMAX and Dolby, all that stuff, Cinemark XD, which is how I saw it. I love this film. I hope to see it again in the future. I'm definitely buying the Blu-ray when it comes out. Absolutely loved it. Such a great movie.
All right. Should I go ahead and go with my pick since Film Fam's not back yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, it's because I'm chewing right now.
You're fine.
All right. So, my number 3, you could say I'm going to really take it into great heights.
Oh, fuck.
Wow. But yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's In the Heights. It's honestly, it's my favorite movie of the summer movie season from last year. I was very lucky to actually see this movie a month early before it came out worldwide.
Yeah, you suck for that, by the way.
Oh, anytime. That's what I'm here for. But yeah, I went to the Mother's Day screening, and that was awesome. And yeah, this movie definitely delivered on the hype for me, especially considering how much longer we had to wait for it. I'm really glad it did not disappoint me. The cinematography is truly, I think, some of the best cinematography of last year. It's just so colorful and so luscious. The attention to detail in it is just incredible. I really love the performances. Anthony Ramos, especially, I think is truly just great in the role, and I definitely hope he could get more roles after this one because he's definitely a rising star. That man can really do it. And obviously, the most important thing in a musical number is to have memorable sequences, and this one definitely delivers on that. The songs are not only catchy, but the sequences themselves are just really choreographed so well. The 96,000 scene, especially, is one of the best scenes of last year, in my opinion. Just how that whole entire sequence was done. It had me moving and it had me cheering. And yeah, I just thought everything about that was presented very well. And of course, without spoiling anything, the story does get more emotional as it goes on. And I thought where it paid off at the end was just genuinely really, really beautiful. So yeah, it's a very satisfying movie. It makes me happy. It makes me sad. It just makes me feel good. It's everything you really want in the movie, I feel, in general. So that's why it's my number 3, and it is my favorite movie from the summer movie season.
Yeah, bouncing off of what you said about In the Heights, I am very sad that this movie underperformed at the box office.
That's another one. That's another musical that's ironically bombing, which sucks.
Right. Yeah. Musicals this year weren't doing so hot. Encanto underperformed at the box office as well. Uh, Nobody liked it, but Dear Evan Hansen bombed. But that, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of true. There's this streak where musical films are just not performing that well. Like maybe they do better on Netflix, like with Tick Tick Boom, for example.
Right. Yeah.
But
Tick Tick
But
Boom
yeah, I don't
did
know
great.
why. It seems like in theaters, and it's kind of heartbreaking to say it. Just I don't know, because it's not like we can't say these movies are not being promoted enough. Because In the Heights had a lot of promotion behind it. West Side Story had a lot of promotion behind it.
Yeah, West Side Story. It felt like every movie I went to go see, and the month leading up to it had the trailer before it.
Yeah,
And I was like, look, I want to see the movie as much as the next guy, but stop. And like, I'm sad that I bombed. Dear Evan Hansen, though, that kind of deserved a bomb. I mean, it's such a terrible movie.
it definitely. I know. Are we going to talk about our disappointments later on?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Whenever Taylor comes back.
Well, I guess a tease, but you'll hear me talk about that when we get to that portion.
But on to my number 2. One kid, dude. All right, I went to Soho last night, and
Wow.
wait, number 2, number 3.
You got to take the number 2 in Soho?
I skipped a whole number, didn't I? All right, number 3.
Number 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
All
go
right.
for it then.
I went to Soho last night, and oh boy, it was wild. There, Anya Taylor-Joy was there, and you had the chick from Jojo Rabbit,
And
and yeah, and I was like, Also, why does it look like the '60s in an Edgar Wright movie? Oh yeah, because it's an Edgar Wright movie, and oh man, is it a masterpiece? This movie is amazing. Um, Absolutely loved it. Super creepy at points. Beautifully shot, beautifully edited, beautiful score. Great acting from both leads around. Matt Smith is even great in it. Good movie. I can't wait to see it again. I don't know if anybody saw it. Oh yeah, that's another movie that bombed when it came out.
I still have to see it. I'm really hyped for the movie. Just unfortunately, just didn't get around to seeing it in theaters. But I'm really excited whenever I could finally watch it.
Well, I think it comes out on Blu-ray in the next month or week, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Where's Taylor? I mean, film fan.
I don't know.
Well,
if you want to just move into your number 2?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, we literally just talked about this movie. My number 2 is West Side Story.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
Oh, pretty. Oh, I've been listening to that on Spotify a lot since I saw it. But yeah, we had a lot of musical films. I'd say overall it's been hit and miss, but definitely the ones that hit really hit. The fact that, if y'all can tell, 3 musical movies actually made into this list, so that just show you that there were honestly at least some strong ones out there. And West Side Story, I would say, is definitely my favorite. And The Heights was for a long time. And then when I saw West Side Story, I was thinking about it. I think I love it just a little bit more than In the Heights, but obviously overall, I'd say enjoyment wise, they're still equal for me. Steven Spielberg. I mean, everyone's talked about how he's just a hack. He has no talent. He's a terrible filmmaker. He doesn't have a single. I just joking, of course.
Yeah.
But,
What? I was like, wait, Spielberg is not a hack?
I honestly want to say that to see how Timothy would react to that.
That's like my favorite director of all time. Fuck.
What did I walk back into? Jesus.
He's calling Steven Spielberg a hack, but like, that's fine. His Volcano and the Crystal Skull sucked.
Oh my god! But no, yes, Spielberg is just a master behind the camera, and I still believe he is. Like, that man just knows how to make a movie really engaging. The filmmaking in his movies are just absolutely incredible, and they stand out from like some of the other filmmakers. Like West Side Story, in my opinion, has some of the best shots of the year, and I think only someone like Spielberg could capture some of these.
Who's not a hack, by the way.
Oh yeah, definitely a hack. And I think only someone like him captured these very luscious and beautiful and colorful shots. Like, if any other director directed this, I don't think we would get the same feel, like on a filmmaking standpoint or anything. And the fact that, for what I understand, I think the original West Side Story is actually Spielberg's favorite movie. And watching this remake, you can definitely tell. I feel his love for the original West Side Story, and he truly made it his own. He was very respectful with the source material, but also including like updates here and there to the story. And in my opinion, I would agree that this is way better than the original because I rewatched the original, see how it held up for me, and it didn't really. I did not really care for the original. I admire it on a filmmaking standpoint, like filmmaking wise. It's incredible. It's well acted, but just did not hold up for me, unfortunately. But this remake definitely, I think, did a lot more with like its characters. The characters definitely stick out more, in my opinion. And for this being Spielberg's first musical that he's ever directed, which is insane to think, my man, he really just goes for it with the musical numbers. And as I already said, I've just been listening to the songs on Spotify since then, especially with Tonight and I Feel Pretty. Just wow, man. I was truly just blown away by West Side Story. It's something I have not stopped thinking about since. It's definitely one of the best movies of the year. It's my favorite musical of the year, right next to really In the Heights, and that's why it's my number 2. I really, really love West Side Story. Fantastic.
All right, film fan, you want to talk about your whatever we were doing? Last. What number did you stop at?
I stopped at.
Well,
4.
I just talked about my number 2, so I guess you could talk about his 3 and 2 if he wants right now.
Okay.
Nah, we can skip them.
What the fuck? All right, catch me up. What was your guys' number 3?
My number 3 was
West Side Story.
Yours? Okay. How about
West Side Story? Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh, West Side Story.
Mine was West Side Story. His was In the Heights.
I'll tell so film fan can hear clearly because we're talking at the same time. Okay, Timothy, number 3 was West Side Story for him, and number 3 for me was In the Heights. There you go.
Ah, nice. All right. Well, number 3, for me. Well, number 3 for me is Malignant. Actually, yeah.
Wow.
This movie.
Wow, that movie is terrible. How dare you?
But it's funny that I made all of our lists, though. That's pretty cool.
It's not making anybody's best list except our 3, and I'm like, well, shit.
So I find I wasn't expecting it to make all three of our best lists, but I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, Malignant, what a fucking wild movie, to say the least. Yeah, just this movie from beginning to end is just fucking insane. Because I'll admit, I've never had a movie do this to me before. Like, I really was not sure how to feel about it for like the first half of it. I was like, I don't know how I'm feeling about this. It's interesting, but I don't know, man. Then that third act happens and it turns everything around. Like, it just turns everything around. And then when I rewatched it again, I'm like, just everything fits perfectly. Like, it's like a nice puzzle, man. It just so many things are so creative in this movie. Like, I just love
Jigsaw.
exactly. It's just everything is so creative with this movie. Like, oh man, one of my favorite things about this movie. Fuck, it's been out for a while. The spoilers if you haven't.
Yeah,
seen
it came out in
like,
September.
But like one of my favorite moments in the entire film is like, so we get like a pan out shot, right, of the city, right, and we see the woman is trapped in in the attic of someone's house, right. What I loved is that like they showed. And this is one of my favorite things on my rewatch is like the film tricks you into thinking this is somewhere else in the city, right? But no, it's her fucking home that she's trapped. It's so genius, man. It's so fucking good, dude. And then of course the twist. Oh my fucking god! And then the action sequences with it that come with it is just incredible. It's a fantastic movie. It's by far my favorite horror film of last year, and it's gonna become one of those movies, man. I think it's gonna become one of those horror films that that's gonna have somewhat of a cult following or something. Honestly, I think I think it's James Wan's best work to date. In all honesty, I think it's just masterful movie. It's an incredible film. I loved every minute of it. It's fantastic. So yeah, it comes as my number 3. All right, since now I get into my number 2, I guess. And my number 2 is Dunk, aka Dune. What a movie! Just what a spectacle this movie was from beginning to end. Honestly, like I just could not believe like just how much of a spectacle this film was, because I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be a spectacle of a movie, but. My God, dude, just from beginning to end, like, it just, the characters, the production, just the directing, just everything was incredible about this movie, I think. It's one of the, I really do believe, and I've said it in my review on Letterboxd, that, like, this is how people must have felt when they saw, like, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings for the first time. They're, like, witnessing something truly epic before their eyes.
The Rise of Skywalker?
No, not fuck you. Anyways, just witnessing something truly beautiful before their very eyes. Because just, god damn, man, just this movie is just incredible. I love this film so much. It's so beautifully shot. It's so beautifully made. The action sequences are incredible to this film. Holy shit. Just what a movie, man. I love this film so much. It is absolutely fantastic. And I'm really glad I got to see it in theaters, because man, is a movie you have to truly experience on the big screen, man. It's just one of those films, and it's phenomenal. If you still haven't seen it yet, you better get your ass up and go and watch it, because my god, man, what a movie.
All right. So with my number 1 pick,
wait, we're not doing number 1. Timothy has to still say his number 2.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it went Film Fan, me and Timothy for some reason.
Well, it's because I didn't get to do my 2 and 3. That's why Timothy let me do that.
Oh, okay. Then I'm sorry about that.
Yes.
Go ahead, Timothy.
No,
Right.
it's okay.
All right. My number 2 is the ultimate nerdgasm of the year. This movie made every Spider-Man fan scream and cheer in the theater as they were witnessing history, and boy howdy was I one of them. Spider-Man No Way Home is my number 2. very, very nearly my number one. But one other movie came out this year that made me go, wow, that was definitely something. Um, Spider-Man was one of the most epic experiences I've seen in a movie theater. Probably more epic than Endgame, in my opinion. Uh, Definitely more epic than The Force Awakens. And I love The Force Awakens, and the hype for that one was real too. I absolutely love this movie from characters coming back from previous Spider-Man movies, including two others. Um, movie's been out for a couple of weeks now, so yeah, seen it yet, which I'm sure you have because it's almost made 1.6 billion. Um, Story, emotional weight, acting, visual effects, action, um, score. Michael Giacchino's score, beautiful. This movie is amazing. No pun intended. Absolutely loved it. Um, and I'm seeing it again tomorrow at the time of recording this video. I got my tickets for it. I can't wait. Round three.
Hell yeah. All right. I guess I guess this leads into my number one because it's literally Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah. This is
No, it's not.
definitely
It's Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
it didn't even come out in 2021, you numbskull. Anyways. Yeah, my number one is Spider-Man No Way Home. Just what could I say about this movie that just hasn't been said already? Like, it was an event for the ages, honestly. Like, it's just like it's the greatest theater experience I think I've ever had in my entire life. I've never had a theater experience quite like I did when I saw Spider-Man No Way Home, because like just the atmosphere and just like and the movie itself is just from beginning to end, like just fucking incredible. I think it's by far my favorite MCU film now. It's just every moment of this fucking movie is just incredible from the way that they develop Tom Holland's Peter Parker / Spider-Man, who is incredible in this movie. This is by far my favorite performance of the character from him. This is definitely the best I've seen him as the character. He's incredible in this. The way that they develop him throughout this. And my favorite thing about this is while the multiverse stuff does go on in this movie, he's still the main focus of this film. Like, it's not like distracting from us with this Peter. And that's what I think I liked about this the most, honestly. It was really, really great stuff. The multiverse stuff is fantastic. I love how that was handled, especially with certain elements that I won't spoil just anyways, it's great. The action sequences are fantastic. It's just what an emotional love letter to Spider-Man fans, honestly. It was just the movie of 2021 for me, man. I loved every minute of this. Just fantastic film. Just mind-blowingly fantastic. I absolutely loved it. It definitely is my favorite movie of 2021.
Well, speaking as someone that's wearing a Spider-Man shirt, my number one is The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Produced by Lord Miller.
I was wearing a Spider-Man shirt. But no, yeah, that is a pretty dope movie though. But yeah, my number one is The Mitchells versus the Machines. It's, in my opinion, the best animated movie of the year. Thinking about it more, I would say it's just in general my favorite movie of the year. I was truly just taken aback by this movie. And I thought it was going to be something that was just going to be really fun and just really silly. And it definitely is that. But man, the heart in this was something I did not imagine. They really exceed when it comes to like the heartwarming stuff, the family dynamic. I think it's probably the strongest the family dynamic has been in anime movies since probably the Incredibles movies, possibly.
The first one, maybe the second one, not so much, in my opinion.
I personally
love Incredibles too, but
yeah, but no, I'm talking like family dynamic wise. I just think this has like some of the best in like any animated feature. The voice acting was really great. Danny McBride is awesome as the dad. And the animation is they go wild with the animation. It's colorful, it's breathtaking, but I also love how throughout the movie they change like different art styles to make it stand out from other animated movies. I think it very much experiments a lot with the animation styles here. And the crazy thing about the movies being produced by Phil Lord and Chris Miller is that even if they don't direct the movies they produce, it still feels like they direct the movies themselves. And even though they just produced the Mitchells versus the Machines, it still feels like they are the ones directing it. They're the ones, taking control of all this, which is just truly impressive. So yeah, it's really funny. It's really heartwarming. Definitely very emotional too, and the action sequences, even honestly, are really really exciting. So yeah, it's just a really beautiful, hilarious, crazy. Just it's a blend of everything in one animated movie, one movie in general. It definitely speaks to me as a lot as someone that loves movies, and I think that's why it earns my place as number one, The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Woo!
I still actually haven't seen it yet. I've been
Same.
meaning to. It's been on my list for God knows how long now. I just
Oh,
other
and I just
movies have
want
been.
to say, man, do I wish I saw this in theaters because with what they do with the animation, like God, I would have loved to have seen it in theaters.
Um, but my number one, it's obvious. I absolutely love this movie. Dune. Um, it Dunk Dune. The movie
Yes.
with the funny ass and ending and of a trailer I've seen all year because the way she screams is kind of hilarious. Anyway, um, this movie is definitely the very definition of an epic. Score, story, acting, cinematography, production design, editing, everything. The sandworms were even cool. I saw this movie in IMAX, very packed theater, and then the following day after I saw this movie in IMAX, I got COVID, and I was like, it was definitely worth it. This movie is the very definition of beautiful. I absolutely loved it. I was going to go see it a second time, but I ended up getting COVID, and by the time I was feeling better, it was out of IMAX, and I wasn't really just wanted to see it in IMAX again, so I didn't go see it again. But at the time of recording this live stream, the movie is coming out on Blu-ray on January 11th. Um, so I will be picking it up on Blu-ray. I got to complete the collection because I have David Lynch's Dune movie. I don't really consider it a David Lynch movie, and I really don't want to consider it Dune, but I absolutely loved it. Everything I wanted it to be when I saw the trailers. Um, just it's just gorgeous, and I can't wait for the sequel
Hell
if it
yeah.
ever comes out.
That's coming out in next year, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and Timothy Chalamet, great as Paul Atreides.
Hey, he was fantastic in it.
The cast actually altogether.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
yeah. All right. On to the other sides of 2021, the side that actually had the most movies, the mediocre and worst side. Because, like I said, there were great movies that came out last year, but there were more bad movies. And a couple of them last year came out, two of them in particular, and I will get to those, where I was like, what the fuck? Why is this a thing? Why did we need another one? Um, well, first off, we're going to talk about all three of us are going to go over the movies that we didn't necessarily hate, but thought were mediocre at best. So we'll go ahead and do those first. If you want to go ahead and do that first, Film Fam.
Alrighty. Well, in terms of movies that I thought were pretty mediocre or just not really that good, there's not too many. But I really did not like. I didn't like Those Who Wish Me Dead. I thought that was kind of mediocre. Infinite. Tony's favorite movie, Infinite. With
You
And
shut
Brian's.
yeah.
He said, "Shut the fuck up."
But yeah, that really wasn't great to say the least. F9 wasn't really that great either. pretty
Yeah, that movie
mediocre.
made me go, "What the fuck is going on with this franchise?"
The Suicide Squad I thought was kind of mediocre. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. The Card Counter was kind of mediocre.
That was just boring as shit.
Halloween Kills was kind of mediocre, and Clifford the Big Red Dog was kind of mediocre. So those were the movies I thought were just mediocre. Just they're not bad, but they're not necessarily good either. You know what I'm saying, homie?
Yeah, I get it.
How about you?
I did enjoy Clifford though.
That's good. How about you, 22 Tiger Dude? What's the movies you thought were mediocre?
Well, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna name off every single one because 2021 had so many mediocre movies that if I were to tell you every single one of them, we're gonna be here all night, and I don't think anyone wants that.
I mean, shit, I'm off tomorrow,
so I'm just gonna pick some. So I'm just gonna pick some select ones, but I am very sorry. I know both of you really enjoyed it, and more power to y'all. But Coming to America is really fucking fun, in my opinion.
I knew that was coming. No pun intended.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And Timothy, there's a reason I did not mention Ryan the Last Dragon in my best list because I found that mediocre, to be honest.
Damn, that one
I'm
hurt.
sorry. Yeah, yeah, so there's that one. This one I actually don't hate like a lot of people do because it's in their worst list, but I still don't really like it. Thunder Force. That one was just mediocre to me.
Oh, that was terrible.
Mortal. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame the ones that hate it. It's just more mediocre because of Jason Bateman. I can't deny that Jason Bateman got some big laughs out of me. But yeah, what was the other one?
Mortal Kombat.
Hold on. Oh, The Woman in the Window. I forgot about that. Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Thank you. Woman in the Window. I agree with Film Fan. Those Who Wish Me Dead. Oh boy, Minority here. A Quiet Place Part 2. I did not care for that one. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, y'all. F9, as you already talked about. Space Jam: A New Legacy. I stand with the original all the way, but the sequel, this ain't it, Chief. This ain't it.
This ain't it,
Black
Chief.
Widow. My least favorite MCU movie now. It's actually the closest I've gone to hating an MCU movie. So it's like barely mediocre for me. But yeah, Black Widow. Another MCU movie I'll just bring up, Shang-Chi. I did not like that one either. I was honestly really disappointed with it. Spiral. I really, really did not like that one. Reminiscence. I'm so sorry, Film Fan.
I liked Reminiscence.
Yeah, and okay, then more power to you then. The J Team on Paramount Plus. I feel like I'm one of the rare people that has actually watched that movie. Peter Rabbit 2, The Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, I forgot that came out.
I am so sorry, Timothy.
Am I the only one here who thought that was great?
I guess the last couple. And I'll just mention two more because, like I said, it's a really long list. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Did not like that one. And Dear Evan Hansen, probably my most disappointing movie, which I know we'll talk about, but whatever, I'll just say it. Yeah, that one. That's another one where I was really close to hating it, in all honesty. So, yeah.
All right. For mediocre movies, we got Black Widow. Sorry, Film Fan.
I like Black Widow.
F9, The Fast Saga. Like I said, the most what the hell is going on with this franchise movie ever. Like, I mean, come on, they go to space. What's next? Dinosaurs? Don't make any ideas.
Don't
even think about it. I know you own Jurassic Park, but no. Many Saints of Newark. I'm a huge Sopranos fan, and I really wanted to see this movie, and I was so let down with it. Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, the G.I. Joe Origins movie about Snake Eyes, without Snake Eyes, who's in it for like 2 seconds and the end of the movie, which got spoiled in the trailer. Halloween Kills, and The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, which I really wanted to see because I was born about an hour and a half away from where the movie takes place, which is in Connecticut. So
maybe.
That's another one I'd put too. I actually forgot to mention that. Did not care for that one either.
but I walked out and immediately was just like, what the fuck did I just watch? But yeah, that's my most mediocre movies, and I'm sure there's more out there that I just don't like. Like the Card Counter, I didn't like that one. But like, I mean, yeah, there's just like Tony. I mean, don't sorry, Tony. 22 Tiger Dude said,
You could call me Tony, my man.
all right. I just there's a lot of mediocre movies that came out last year. More good, more mediocre than bad because there's a lot of hype going into these movies because they all got delayed from 2020. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll mind waiting for that, especially something like F9 because I was excited because I'm a huge Fast and Furious fan. But our Halloween Kills because I really like the 2019 Halloween, 2018 Halloween. 2019 was it 2019? No, it was 2018.
It's 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, I really liked it. So I was like, fine, I'll wait. It looked good, and it ended up sucking. The firefighter scene was cool though, but yeah, I just yeah. And on to the worst.
On to the worst. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I may just go through just my entire worst list because I literally only got 4 movies to talk about. Because I literally only have 4 movies to talk about.
All right.
So
there's only 4 you truly hated from last year.
Yep, there's only 4 movies I like really, really hated from last year. Oh boy,
here we go.
Go for it.
Here we go. So I guess I'll start off with the least worst out of all of them, and then least worst, and that's Black Widow. I fucking hated this. This was terrible. Holy shit! Like
I do not blame you, brother. I do not blame you.
Holy shit, was this bad? Look, I really wanted to like this because I do like the character of Black Widow a lot. Don't get me wrong, but like, holy shit, this has some of the worst action, some of the worst visuals of the entire MCU. I didn't even think
the green screen is terrible.
Bro, the green screen, holy shit.
Dude, the part where she's like falling without the parachute, I was just like, holy fucking shit, this movie is terrible.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's really bad. This is probably my least favorite MCU movie. I did not enjoy this whatsoever. I thought it was fucking shit. Just terrible to say the least. Next up, I have is Karen. Thanks Jackson. Thanks Jackson. Yeah, this movie was pretty bad.
I forgot about that movie.
To say the least. Yeah, it's about everything you would expect with a movie with this title would be. That's all I'm going to leave it at. Next up, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. What the fuck was this shit?
It's a slap in the face to Steven Hillenburg.
It really
Hillenburg.
is. It really is. It's so bad. The animation is okay, but like just the storyline.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
Just the storyline and just what the fuck was the storyline, man? Like, we've done Where's Gary before, like 3 different times at this point. Like, it's just like, what the fuck?
And I also don't care. Like, every time I watched SpongeBob as a kid, the one thing I didn't think about was, man, I wonder how he met Patrick. Like, I don't care how they met at this point. It's been like 20 years since the show premiered.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point of like doing all this? Like, we don't need to know the origin stories of these characters. It's fine. And they retcon a lot of things that have happened in the show with this. It's so stupid. God, it's bad.
Keanu Reeves was in it, but so I'll give it that.
Yeah, what the fuck was even Keanu Reeves doing in this movie? Like,
he's like Jesus.
Like,
yeah,
it's bad. I hate this movie.
The way Keanu has a SpongeBob and Matrix movie in the same year. What a year!
It's what a year for Keanu Reeves. It's so fucking bad. I thought it was pretty fucking terrible, to be honest. However, it does not compare to what I think is the worst movie of the whole year, and that's fucking Dear Evan Hansen. This fucking pile of shit, god damn it. This movie, holy shit. What a bad movie. I mean, oh my god, from beginning to end, this literally is a pile of dog shit. Like the musical numbers. Like there's only one musical number in this entire film that I thought was pretty decent. All the others are just boring as shit. Like Ben Platt looking like a fucking old man that seems like pizza's fucking melting off his face. Like the boy, bro, he was sweat, bro. I've never
Especially
seen
in
a
that
man,
one shot in the third act.
dude.
Yeah, that was. I remember that shot. I was like,
I've never seen a man sweat so much in my entire goddamn life. Holy shit! Like my man was sweating. Yeah, this movie sucks. It's bad. Don't watch it. Don't ever watch it. Don't waste your fucking time with it.
it's literally on all three of our worst lists. I mean,
it's little dog.
I
It's
mean-
little dog shit.
I mean, hey, the
It is.
people can watch it if they want to. Just personally, for me, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, if you want to watch it, I don't recommend it, but just know what you're getting yourself into. But yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, those are the four movies I really hated from last year. So but yeah. But I think that's gonna do it for me on this thing. So buddy boys, but Timothy, I would like to thank you for having me on here. I very much appreciate it. I had a good time.
yes, sir.
And I hope everyone has a good night. And ladies and gentlemen, Bob Bing, Bada Boom. Who let the chicken in the room? All right, you all have a good night.
See you, bro. All
Have a good
right.
night,
Well,
film fan.
for who wants to? All right, you want to start off with your worst list?
Yeah. Okay. I basically have a top 8 for this one because there's only been
Alright.
8 movies I like truly hated.
Go ahead.
So I guess we'll do a back and forth like we did with the best list.
Yeah. Just go from 10 through 9, or yeah, go through 10 through 9. I'll go
Okay.
through my 10 and 9.
Okay. Well, like I said, I don't have a number 9 and 10. I mean, I could always choose 2 of the mediocre movies from my mediocre list. So I guess if I had to say number 10, number 9, I guess Black Widow and Dear Evan Hansen, I guess from the mediocre list. But from my number 8, this is a movie a lot of people seem to really like. It's a Hulu original movie, but I watched it and I really hated it a lot. And that movie is Plan B.
Oh, fuck. Damn, that
Th-
hurts.
th- Yeah, this movie is basically like that HBO Max original with Haley Lou Richardson, Unpregnant. But to be
Yeah, I've
honest,
seen that.
I rather take Unpregnant over this one. Unpregnant to me at least has a better like story, and I really enjoyed the journey of the characters better. Like the lead actresses are fine, they're doing what they can, but like I really did not care for the characters. The emotional moments feel very forced. And it's a movie that I don't think really knows what it wants to be because it wants to be like this really emotional coming of age story. But then it has these gross out, like raunchy humor that it was honestly some of the grossest moments I've seen of last year. Like all I'll say is there's a moment, those who have seen the movie probably know, but there's a moment obviously where one of the main characters was almost going to suck a groin, a guy's
Oh.
groin. And
Oh.
Ye yeah, ugh, God. But then, yeah, they have moments like that, but then anytime it tries to get emotional, they really want me to try to buy into it, even though I don't really think they really flesh out the story enough for me to really even get emotional. Like, I guess the most emotional it somewhat gets is like towards the end. I guess the ending was the best part, but man, everything else leading up to that is such a chore. I was so bored watching this thing. Oh my God. It's an hour and 47 minutes, but including end credits, let's say it's more 1 hour and 40. And it felt like honestly like probably 2 hours and 20 minutes long. So yeah, I really hated Plan B. Definitely one of my least favorite Hulu original movies ever.
All right, so my 10 and number 9. All right, so number 10 is Marvel Studios Eternals. I was really excited for this movie. The cast, the director, Academy Award winner Chloe Zhao, of Nomadland. I couldn't wait. The trailers were epic, and man, this movie is 2.5 hours of talking and literally nothing else. Kit Harington's in this movie, and he's in it for 5 minutes, maybe. It's so fucking boring. It, like Tony said about Plan B, it is a chore to sit through. And when I decide to marathon the MCU and I have to get to Eternals, I'm literally going to be like, well, I watched Thor: The Dark World. Got to get through this one now. And it's just so so long for no necessary reason because it doesn't even flesh out the characters right or at all. And by the end, I just don't care about it. And it's felt like a Justice League ripoff, even to the point in the movie where they make a fucking Justice League joke. Um, it's like really dumb. I hate this movie. Yeah, and number 9 is a movie that the studio said was literally unwatchable, so they made him do reshoots instead of just shoving the movie. And that's Chaos Walking. Um, it's
I still have to see that one.
oh man, this movie was oh god. Dude. What do I say about this movie? I don't even remember it. Like I remember a dog, and I remember Tom Holland in it. That's about it. That's all I remember.
I hear apparently
And
a name is said over and over again. I am Tom something or
oh
whatever.
yeah. I was like, dude, stop talking, stop talking to yourself because we can hear it, and it's getting annoying. Shut the fuck up. This movie sucks, and like it should have just stayed shelved. They shouldn't have put. All right, so this movie was made for $100 million, and it only made $20 million back.
Wow.
And yeah, that's pretty bad for a YA adaptation, which isn't coming back anytime soon. Hopefully, um, God, please don't make YA movies again because half of them suck. Um, this is definitely one of those ones that suck. Yeah, I just, I don't know. Mads Mikkelsen was terribly miscast in it too. But, I mean, yeah. All right, go ahead, Tony, with your.
All right.
Wait. I never got to do number 8.
Oh, go for it then. Go for it.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. That's all I got to say. That movie, what the fuck? All right.
That's another one that's in my mediocre list that I didn't say.
All right, go ahead with number 7.
Okay. So my number 7, Film Fan mentioned it before he left, Karen.
I never watched it. I actually forgot about it.
Yeah. Just so you folks know, some of these movies that we watch is because I'm on cast with a group of friends. These are not movies I watch because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this just because I'm on cast with friends and we just decided to watch these. And Karen is one of them. I had no plans to watch it, but a cast was done, so I'm like, okay, why not? I was hoping maybe something that could be unintentionally funny, and it did have maybe 5 unintentionally funny moments, but aside from that, this thing was terrible. What the actual hell was this movie? The acting is terrible. The filmmaking is just, I don't even know how to describe the filmmaking. And just like what I said about Plan B earlier, the pacing in this thing was awful. There's probably like maybe 2 times where I fell asleep. Like I was struggling to stay awake watching this. And I think some of my friends said that they were having trouble staying awake as well. So that should tell you our experience with that movie. But yeah, it's not even unintentionally like It's not even like so good it's bad. It's just really, really bad, and I honestly hated it. Aside from sometimes unintentionally funny moments, but yeah, really bad movie. I honestly truly could not stand it. I don't know why it was made, but whatever. It was made. That's my
To
number.
popularize the name of Karen.
That
But
honestly,
like, I
yeah,
mean,
that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
but like half of us in the world deal with Karens already. None of us want to watch a movie about it. An escape from reality is supposed to be an escape from reality, not watching a movie about some crazy racist woman hunting down her neighbors because they're black.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
and that's the other thing too. It's racist as hell. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, it's a really racist movie too. Just very problematic all around. I really don't know what the filmmakers were thinking with this one, but yeah, Karen, it's a movie, I guess.
all right. My number seven is a movie I had so much trouble watching. I was kind of excited given the director's history, but like the pacing in this movie killed it for me, and that would be Old. Um,
That's
man,
another mediocre one from me. I was disappointed.
this movie, I was actually kind of all for it up until they got to the beach, and one of the actresses or one of the like the girls goes up to a guy and he's like, "Oh my god, that's mid-size sedan," and I was like, "Yep, this movie sucks." I was done, and then the rest of the movie just drops down worse and worse and worse and worse with quality, and like the best character happened to be mid-size sedan.
Some
Gotta
of the
get there.
some of the filmmaking techniques by M. Night were just really weird too.
Yeah, the editing and stuff was the close-up shots just were so dumb and distracting, and the final twist was, I mean, that's typical for Shyamalan. He's the same guy who made Aliens Allergic to Water attack a planet made out of water, or trees kill people, or uh, a kid can bend air. Well, okay, I mean, okay, that movie sucks. But like this movie, apparently, like I was so for Shyamalan making his comeback. The Visit, good. Split, great. Glass, loved it. I was hoping that this one would continue that, and no, it ruined it once again. This is above par with Lady in the Water, which I hated, and The Happening, which I really hate. And I really don't want anything to do with Shyamalan now after this movie. And apparently he's making another movie, and no, just no,
Well, I mean, that's
no.
the thing about him as a filmmaker. He can either hit or miss, but I'll definitely say he's probably one of the most unique filmmakers. So no matter what, I'm always gonna be at least curious what he kind of has.
Oh, and also stop casting yourself in movies. It's getting annoying at this point. We don't care about your cameo.
This one probably had like his biggest cameo role like ever. Thinking
Actually,
about.
Lady in the Water, he made
Oh,
himself a
actually,
whole
you know
lot
what?
main
You're right.
character.
Actually, yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that.
That said, though, I love The Village, so take my opinion as you will now. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I was disappointed with it, but hopefully his next feature can be better.
Well, apparently, it comes out next summer.
Oh, okay. All right. Do I go into my number 6?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 6 is probably a movie not a lot of you have heard, and trust me, I have not heard of this movie either. The reason this happens because it's kind of funny how this ended up happening that I watched this. It's just a normal Friday night. I'm not really even doing anything. I'm just like chilling. I'm probably watching something on TV. And then I have a friend message me saying, "Hey, we're gonna watch a movie, but we're not gonna tell you what movie though." So I just said, "All right, whatever." So I just hopped on cast, and you guessed it, the movie was a movie called Falling. It is
Oh,
it is directed by Viggo Mortensen, and it stars him. And obviously,
He's one of the most respected actors ever working in Hollywood. So I had no idea what this movie was, obviously, when my friends told me what it was. But hearing Vigo's name alone made me go, hey, you know what? I'm down for a Viggo Mortensen directorial film. Let me see how it goes for him. But I watched it and wow. Yeah, this was really bad. And I know, it was a very personal movie for Vigo, so I don't want to be like too hard on it because I know it's something he made in dedication to his parents. But just the execution of this movie was really terrible. There's really problematic stuff in it. Uh, there's an old guy in the movie that just says nothing but really, really racist stuff, and it's like I get the context of why he went there with it, but execution wise, it just did not sit with me at all. It really rubbed me the wrong way every time this old guy, I think his father, before I remember, because I forgot about the movie already. But yeah, his father was just saying like a lot of racist and problematic stuff. It was even to the point where my friends are like, shut up, just stop. Like one of my friends was losing in particular, and it was like really funny. Just
Let me guess, Kevin
no, the other one, Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson was
Wow,
saying, "Shut up." Um, so yeah,
sounds like Kevin.
but yeah, none of us had a good experience with it. I know it's Vigo's. I think at least it's his first time. So whatever he directs next, I hope it'll be better. But as far as first times go, it was just a really terrible one, and I honestly hated nearly every minute of it. And as I'm probably going to be saying a lot with a lot of these, it was just a chore. It was too long. Um, like wow, it felt like I think a snail moves faster than this movie, if that tells you something. So yeah, that's my number 6, a movie I don't think a lot have heard about, but I saw it, Falling.
All right, my number 6 is a very unnecessary sequel. Space Jam: A New Legacy. I really don't like this movie at all. Um, Now, I've pissed a lot of my friends off when I say this because all of my friends and I are basically the same age and we grew up with the original, but I don't like the original at all. I never thought it was good. Even as a kid, I never liked it. I thought Looney Tunes Back in Action was such a better made movie. Michael Jordan cannot act worth a shit, and LeBron James is no better, if not maybe worse. This movie is literally a 2 hour long commercial for HBO Max, and it literally like you just like I don't know who decided to take out the skunk because he's not kid friendly, but put in the Clockwork Orange characters.
And Pennywise in the
And
background.
Pennywise, the fucking clown, is the stupidest decision I have seen in a mainstream horror, in a mainstream act, in a mainstream movie since old. I mean, this movie is literally ass. I literally like watched it. I got home from work, put it on, thought, yeah, this might actually be pretty good. And then within the first 5 minutes, I was like, now this movie sucks, man. I can't do it. I
And
had such a
it was
hard.
just jarring seeing the Roadrunner and the Mad Max Fury Road World. I
Yeah,
was
that
just
was
like,
really dumb.
it's like it's a kids movie, but then they show stuff like Matrix and Mad Max. And I'm all like, like I know there's kids in all fairness that are gonna watch R-rated movies these days, but not every kid in the world is gonna watch some of these movies. So
Right, right. I just, somebody wanted to join it. Oh, hey, it's Henry.
I'm back.
We're
hey,
talking about the worst movies now.
Hey, I was thinking
Alright.
if you want, maybe Henry could just quickly say his best and worst. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
at a rapid speed if he wants to.
yeah. Go ahead.
All right. My number 10 is 10 best is Encanto. I thought this had a really cool concept, and the songs were really good and the characters were good. Yeah. And number 9 is Malcolm and Marie. This was a really
Forgot
cool.
about that movie. Love that movie.
Yeah. The really good Netflix movie with John David Washington and Zendaya. It was cool that
That's
they
Sam
filmed it.
Levinson.
Yeah, it was cool that they filmed it during the pandemic, and I didn't like it as much as Euphoria. Those specials. That show comes out. The new show comes out this week, so hype for that. And yeah,
Been waiting 2 years for season 2 to come out.
yeah. And my number 8 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. A huge improvement over the Joss Whedon version, and they a lot of new stuff that improved it. Like I thought the acting was much better, and I don't know why they did 4x3, but whatever,
Because
still a good movie.
they put it for, it was supposed to be an IMAX, but
Oh
pandemic.
yeah,
Yeah. So
I think it did go to theaters, but like a little bit. But yeah, number 7 is Judas and the Black Messiah, which really cool, really good movie with great performances from Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya, and remind me a lot of like Scorsese movies, which yeah, good stuff. Happy to see Daniel Kaluuya win the Oscar for that one.
oh yeah, this year's Oscars. Oof, what
Yeah,
a what a chore that was.
yeah. And number 6, I have The French Dispatch, which, if you saw Tony's anticipated video, I thought that was going to be a summer movie, and then it wasn't, but still really good movie. Like, I like the cast a lot. Like, the structure is hit or miss for some, but I really liked it, and yeah, we might be getting a new Wes Anderson movie this year, but
Wow, dude's busy.
but yeah, but moving on to my top 5, my number 5 is Dune, which I went out of my way to see in IMAX, and that was an epic experience. The cast was really good, and the visuals were amazing, and the score as well. And I'm hyped for part 2 in October 2023. And number 4 is The Suicide Squad, which is my favorite superhero movie of the year. And there was this one, like, I knew I was really hyped for, but it just blew me away in terms of stuff. Like, the action was epic. It was really emotional, which I was not expecting, but yeah, I'm very happy with that. And then number 3, I have Last Night in Soho, which is a very cool horror movie with an insane twist and great performances, especially from Thomas and Mackenzie. And it does have a little bit of like that Edgar Wright feel, but not a lot, which is interesting. And then my number 2 is Come On, which is a really sweet, heartfelt film. Like Joaquin Phoenix is great in it, and yeah, it was good stuff. And now my number 1 is one that I have not been able to stop thinking about since I first saw it, and that is The Green Knight. Like, that movie is just like epic, is so good. Like, just everything about it is just so well done, and I'm very happy to have seen it finally. So yeah, that's my top 10 best.
And your worst?
Oh, actually, very quick, Henry. What would you say are probably like at least a few of your mediocre movies?
Okay, so mediocre. So I would say,
Mediocre.
hey, Space Jam: A New Legacy, Home Sweet Home Alone, The Boss Baby: Family Business,
I
Yes
forgot about
Day,
that.
Reminiscence, Doggone Trouble, Endangered Species, and Don't Look Up.
Yeah, yeah. I actually really like Don't Look Up,
Okay, I can see
but
why
I mean,
people like that.
it, it, it was funny. I kind of just I wasn't really
Okay,
expecting it to be good walking in, but I can
yeah,
understand why people don't like it.
okay.
And
Uh,
now for the worst list, yeah, he could say number 10 through number 6, and then he's basically caught up.
All right, so my number 10 is Charming, which is just really boring, bad animation, bad voice acting.
That one is so forgettable.
Never even heard of it.
This is a one that Kevin made us do a cast of.
Of course you did.
Uh,
Sounds like Kevin.
and my number 9 worst is He's All That. This is a
Oh,
That yeah,
re-
that's another one of my mediocre list.
remake
oh
of a
man, that movie was
movie
terrible.
that I didn't even like in the first place. I like apparently like Addison Rae is doing more Netflix movies, which
Run.
and uh,
It's like doing another After movie, which we are
yeah,
getting.
we are. And there were some like moments that were like, what the fuck, that I could laugh at, but overall,
Thumbs down.
and my number 8 is actually better than the director's last two movies, and that is Ted Bundy, American Boogeyman,
Oh, I
which
forgot about that one.
which is just like, while the Sharon Tate and Nicole Brown Simpson's ones were like disrespectful as fuck, and this one kind of is too, but it feels like a fucking Riverdale episode. So yeah,
Well, the Aileen Wuornos one's going to be on Netflix next month. So,
yeah,
oh yeah, who wants to
and
cast that?
kept and so I just doing 7 and 6.
Yeah,
All
Yeah,
right,
and then you're all caught up with this, my
all
man.
right. My number 7 is Cherry. This one was like
oh shit.
really disappointing because the Russo brothers directed like 4 of my 5 MCU movies, and their follow up was not good. Like the first half of it was kind of like Hillbilly Elegy, laughably bad. Like Tony, you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
But and then the second half is just nearly unwatchable. Like, yes, this is not a good one. And my number 6 is The Kissing Booth 3. Like,
I didn't even finish it.
like this whole franchise is just so stupid. Like, the first
Why
one
was
was
the
bad
second
enough.
one rated R? Like,
Wait, was it?
yeah, well,
Was
it's
it real? I actually don't
TVMA,
remember
but
that. Was it really?
it's TVMA, but I mean, in TV terms, that's rated R.
Yeah.
So, unless you're FX.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we're not getting a fourth one. And
Or are we?
I mean, if Old Man has anything to say about it,
Ah, fuck.
but yeah, like even though like the sequels were better than the first one in my opinion, like they're still not good. It's just at least Jacob Elordi can get back to doing Euphoria.
Yeah,
That's
I'm just imagining him on the set of Euphoria going, "Okay, you're gonna shoot the next Kissing Booth sequel," and him just secretly going, "Oh fuck." And then when he finished the third one, he's like, "I'm free! I'm free!"
All right. Like I was saying, my number 6 is Space Jam: A New Legacy. That was like, what the fuck? Why is this a thing? This is a 2-hour commercial for HBO. Why is Game of Thrones in here? Why are they having Harry Potter in here? Like, who thought Mad Max and fucking Matrix needed to be in a kid movie? Like Tony
Why
said.
was Speedy Gonzalez doing the
Casablanca
Matrix, and
there?
why was Rick and Morty in there?
Yeah, the Rick and Morty kid. Why was Rick and Morty?
Is not a kid show, y'all.
I'm like, dude, this is the dumbest fucking movie I have ever watched in my entire life, except for maybe my number 1 worst movie, which we'll get to, which is going to be really fun to talk about, because boy, howdy, do I have a giant rant about it. Anyway, on to number 5.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh goodness gracious. My number 5. Oh man. My number 5 is a movie that. Well, yeah. Let me just say that. Yeah. Well, I'll just say my number 5 is Halloween Kills.
It's a movie.
What? Still to this day, I'm actually baffled what I watched, because I know the 2018 one, it's kind of mixed. You know, people either like that one or they don't. I'm personally one of those people that did like the 2018 one,
I
and
like it.
it's very watchable. I'm not even kidding. I've probably seen the 2018 one maybe like 4 or 5 times. Like, I think it's a very watchable movie. So with Halloween Kills, you know, even though I didn't think it was very necessary, like I just personally thought the story could just ended with, you know, 2018. It's like, okay, good. The franchise has its end, but you know, no surprise they want to continue this. So I was just hoping, okay, just give me a reason to exist. Just give me a goddamn reason to exist, and I'll be forgiving. This movie gave me no goddamn reason for it to exist. And I truly do not believe David Gordon Green directed this. Like, it did not feel like it. Despite it being from the same team, it just did not feel like it. Direction-wise, I thought it was sloppy. I don't even know what in the actual hell the editing was in this thing. Like, I was so confused because it was so bad. Even the acting, because not for nothing, but I thought the 2018 one was really well acted. I'd even go my way to say it's even better acted than even the original, 1978.
Evil dies tonight.
But oh my god, yeah, the acting, who wrote this screenplay? Just oh my god,
Danny McBride, some other guy, and David Gordon Green.
Same writers. I just don't see how it's from the same writers of 2018 Halloween. I'm just it's just, if you notice why I'm just having a hard time talking, it's because I'm just utterly baffled by how it could be the same writers and the same director, because it honestly felt like they grabbed new people to take on this project. And don't even get me started on the climax and the ending of this. What was that? What was that? What? Oh. Like, man, I was really going to this open mind, hoping it could be good, but honestly, I'll still go into ends open mind, of course, but after this, I'm just not looking forward to ends. We'll see how ends goes. I hope I like ends, but right now, after watching Kills, it literally did kill my hope for this right now. So that's my number 5. What a crock of crap this was. I hated this so much.
Sounds like a great movie.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Oh yeah, it's a great time. I recommend it.
Yeah.
If you're drunk.
5 out of 7. All right, it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
your
right.
turn.
My number 5 was of 2021 is Peter Rabbit 2: The Runaway.
Very
Why
forgettable.
did this need to exist? Like, the first one was like a cute film, and that's
It was
it.
decent.
Yeah. Like, but this one was just an unnecessary sequel, and it just. What the fuck even was this? Like, there was like a heist plot, and it wasn't funny. Just why? That's that was not a good.
Also, can I just mention very quick? I like how Peter Rabbit and Domhnall Gleeson are just batting heads with each other again, even though at the end of the first they made peace with each other.
Exactly, Tony.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on Netflix, and I never really found it necessary. So
Yeah.
But it's deep.
anyway, my number 5 is Dear Evan Hansen, which a lot of us here hate. This movie does suck. Nobody's talking about it, but the de-aging effects are some of the worst I've seen ever. And I'm talking about a world where we live with cats being a thing. This movie is terrible. The musical numbers, the acting, the story, just everything about it. Amy Adams is severely miscast. Julianne Moore cannot sing, and I hope she never sings again. This movie is literally everything wrong with filmmaking in Hollywood, and this sucks because it's from the director of Wonder, which I loved, and Perks of Being a Wallflower, which I also love, and that movie means a lot to me. So like, this movie fucking it, mm, still want my money back. Give me my $5.
It just felt more like a dramatic piece than an actual musical film, and I think that's what the biggest mistake with that was.
Yeah,
All right, so do we go into my number 4?
yeah.
All right. My number 4 severely baffled me. I watched it with a friend of mine. We're both huge fans of this certain property, like really, really big fans. So watching this movie just made both of us pissed off, depressed, baffled, all of those horrible emotions combined. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run.
Damn, sounds like Taylor watching Star Wars.
Honestly, I literally told this to, I told this to our friends Adam and Brian, actually. I'm going to say it. This is the Rise of Skywalker of the SpongeBob franchise.
It
Like,
really was.
Believe it.
Matt, like even though I don't per se hate Rise of Skywalker, I do really, really dislike it though. And I do think this suffers all the problems that the Rise of Skywalker did, to be honest, Like, and what's baffling is that, this wasn't even going to be the original idea. The original idea was going to be called It's a Wonderful Sponge. I remember when they even released a Comic-Con poster of it, and the idea was that it was going to parody It's a Wonderful Life, something like that. And I was like, that's a great idea. I was down for it. And then when I went on Facebook, I remember when they dropped the poster for Sponge on the Run, and I was just sitting there thinking, wait, this isn't right. This is supposed to be It's a Wonderful Sponge, not what the hell is Sponge on the Run? And then you watch the trailer, and I wasn't impressed with the marketing at all personally. And I'm saying that as a diehard SpongeBob fan. But I was like, okay, maybe the movie could surprise me, because I really do enjoy the first two. I really enjoy the first one. I really enjoyed the second one, Sponge Out of Water. I know not everyone really likes Sponge Out of Water, but I'm definitely one of those people that defends that one. So I was hoping for the same with Sponge on the Run. And nope, Chief. There's no way in hell I'm ever going to defend this piece of shit. I have no intentions of ever buying it on Blu-ray. I want to stay far away from that Blu-ray as possible. This was a disgrace not only to SpongeBob fans, but to Steven Hillenburg.
He did not deserve this shit like at all. And even though, admittedly, the best thing about this is the animation, I will admit the animation is absolutely beautiful to look at. The storytelling was absolute crap. It's basically if you combine the episode Where's Gary and the first SpongeBob movie, literally, and the villain of this, which they don't show the marketing at all, is the ripoff of King Neptune in the first one. So it's basically we're dealing with the King Neptune 2.0, and the reason for Gary being kidnapped is just one of the dumbest things I've ever heard this last year and in quite some time. And of course, they have to shoehorn in Camp Coral, and they retcon so much stuff from the show that just drives me nuts. And we already know how SpongeBob met Gary, so I don't know why they felt the need to just say, "Oh, look, here's a Camp Coral flashback." And then the third act is where I was really pissed off because by the time you got to the third act, you could tell right then and there they really were just making this to commercialize Camp Coral. So yeah, this was Paramount Plus's first movie, and this was a terrible way to start the original movies. The original movies in general have not been good at all. Um, I'll talk about another one later on this list, but yeah, a terrible movie all around. Really hated it. Absolutely boring. Um, Comedy doesn't work. Also, why the hell was Snoop Dogg and Keanu Reeves in this? Like, it could have
And
been
Danny
fun.
Trejo.
And Danny
With
Trejo,
Snoop
like,
Dogg?
if it was if it was better executed, it could have been, funny, but no, the execution is terrible. And there's literally a scene in this movie that I'm not kidding you, reminds me of those Disney Channel zombies. There's literally a scene in this that gave me those vibes, and I was just sitting there going, "What the fuck?" The friend I watched this was with my friend Brian Mendoza. We watched this together, and we were both just baffled and just speechless for all the wrong reasons. I'm sorry if I'm going on a little too long, but as you can tell, I just had a lot to say about this piece of shit. So that's why Sponge on the Run is my number 4. Whew, that was very therapeutic. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, I wonder what's gonna be worse than that. I'm scared.
Oh, you shall see.
Alright, but my number 4 is Karen.
Jesus Christ.
This was this fucking BT exclusive movie that we watched on Cast. Tony was there, and
I indeed was.
there was a few like unintentional laughs, like the freaking end credits being out of place. But other than that, this was terrible. Like the acting and the dialogue were just this basically some dollar bin Jordan Peele Spike Lee garbage. And it could have been good with like a better execution, but it was not.
All right, my number 4 is a movie that, like Tony, I was so baffled that it happened that when I watched it, I was like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" As being a fan of the material myself, and that would be Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. I'm just kidding. That came out like 2 years ago. That movie did suck. SpongeBob movie 3, Sponge on the Run. It's not good. Literally, there's nothing good about it, and that's all I gotta say because Tony basically said everything I thought about it. So,
All right.
Go ahead.
So I guess I talk about my number 3.
yeah,
Okay. My number 3 is another movie that we casted. A movie I literally just had no plans of watching like at all because I hated the first one. Henry might know where I'm leading with this. Okay, you know what? Let me see, Henry. Can you guess what movie I'm probably talking about right now?
Well, I think we actually have the same one. Is it The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2?
Ding, 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 ding. Yep.
Great. Does that mean
So,
I can go next after you? You
yep.
describe
So I
Yes.
guess since we know what Henry's and I's are, I'll start by saying that wow, yeah, this was horrible, horrible stuff, and that's honestly why I just didn't want to bother watching it because I just had a feeling it just wasn't going to be good. And I like to be open minded with stuff, but this one just everything the trailers, the marketing gave me, just nothing about it told me it was going to be good. And now that I've actually seen it, it's just I don't even know what to say. It's like pretty much what I've been saying about honestly all these movies on this worst list. I don't know what I watched,
Shit.
but bless you. The
Thank you.
writing is terrible. The acting is really bad. There's really no funny parts. I don't really recall laughing even once. Maybe one smirk, like I guess that. But
Me
like,
watching Jack and Jill.
oh my god. But yeah, there was never like that's a classic, man. That's a classic comedy gold. There was never a moment like that. It's just really cheap. It's directed by Dion Taylor, which he has made some of the most unintentionally funny stuff ever. So when he makes gold that's unintentional, he hits with stuff like The Intruder and
The
Fatale.
Intruder.
But that's the ironic thing. The movies that are not even supposed to be funny are literally funnier than the actual comedy movies he directs. That's the ironic thing. But yeah, I'm all down for him directing more stuff like The Intruder and Fatale. But stuff like these Meet the Blacks movies, just no. Deion Taylor, I love you, my man, but just no, just stay away from these movies because honestly, you deserve better than these movies.
Yeah. This
So
shit
that is
felt
my
like
number 3. Oh, go ahead, Henry. What were you
this
saying?
shit felt like it was 3 hours long and just stupid. And I actually haven't seen the first one, but if I ever decide to watch it, I am scared.
All right.
Yeah, the first one's terrible. But yeah, that's why I ended off by saying that. Yeah, I agree with Henry. It also felt like it was too long. I think it was only like what 80, 90 minutes, and oh my goodness, 97 minutes according to Letterboxd. But
Doctor Who all day.
yes, but man, it did not feel that way at all. Just holy shit, just terrible, terrible trash all around. So yeah, that is my number 3, and you could go on now, Timothy.
All right. So I just want to let you know my bottom three are all horror movies that came out last year. And my number three is one so bad that I had to get up and go get a drink, an alcoholic drink in the middle of it, just so I can actually sit and watch it. And that's The Unholy. And I don't know how Sam Raimi finds his way into producing these shitty horror movies, but like The Grudge, but like somehow he does. And I'm just like, dude, focus on directing your own movies because clearly you're better at doing that. And it's clear he's better at doing that. This movie is a literal piece of shit. It's not scary in the slightest. The acting is terrible. The story is god awful. It's unintentionally funny, especially towards the end. And Carrie Ellis is really bad at it. He plays this like really dumb preacher from the the Falcon, fucking Star Trek, the Vulcan. He's a Vulcan.
Ah.
It's not funny. I mean, it's not scary. It's more funny than it is scary. There's one jump scare where I was like, "What the fuck, man? Why? What was that?" And like the only part of the movie where I was actually like, kind of like, "Okay, that's kind of creepy-ish," was the beginning of the movie. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who actually gives a shit about watching it, but yeah, it's terrible.
Would you say the experience was unholy?
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, I fucking would.
All right, y'all. Now we get into my number 2 before we hit the big numero uno. All right.
Ooh, ooh.
I mentioned how much I hated Sponge on the Run, but surprisingly, despite how much I hated that movie and how much y'all heard me ranting on that movie, somehow this one movie is just a little bit worse than that, in my opinion. Infinite,
Poor
because it was
Antoine Fuqua.
an infinite piece of shit. I I don't know where to even start with this. This is one of the, and that's really saying something. In a year where I have seen some truly messy stuff, this has to be one of the messiest movies I have ever seen in recent memory. The action, I don't even know what the hell is going on most of the time. There's a couple of like all right filmmaking techniques and all that, but like for the most part, the action, I was so lost in what I was watching. Mark Wahlberg is really bad. Chiwetel Ejiofor was also terrible. He plays this over the top villain, and you could tell, in all fairness, you could tell he's probably having fun. He's chewing it up, but the execution of it was bad. And it doesn't help that he's shouting in nearly every scene, like, I want this, I want him, get him. And all, like, oh my gosh, you don't have to be shouting in nearly every fucking scene, dude. Calm the hell down. Um, but I could see why, honestly, Paramount just decided to drop this on their streaming service because, oh, it's not a movie I would see in theaters. And it's too bad because honestly, when I watched the trailer, and I was actually talking to my friend Film Fan, who was here with us in the stream earlier, that we actually both thought it looked good. We thought there was a lot of potential, and we both actually watched Infinite together. But when we saw the movie together, we were just like questioning our own damn lives and just thinking, what happened? Like, seriously. And the climax of this, some of the worst green screen I have ever seen. I was, my jaw actually dropped because I couldn't believe how horrible the climax was. It's easily one of the worst climaxes I've seen, honestly, in a long time. It was that bad. So, wow, Paramount, you've really dropped the ball somehow with not only Sponge on the Run, but also Infinite. Like, no question. Holy hell. Just, yeah, I don't know what else to say because I think I said everything I need to say. I'm just beyond word speechless what I saw. So that's my number two.
Alright. My number two is Run, Hide, Fight. God, what a
Ooh, I
bad
never saw
film.
that one, but
The
I've
the
heard of it.
the Chaparral film.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
it's
that.
just fucking stupid film. Like, it's basically like they turned like a school shooting into an action film, and just the dialogue is awful. And yeah, this piece of shit. And not only that, but fucking Ben Shapiro putting his name on it tells you everything you need to know. Just no, just no.
Did it make you want to run and hide and fight this movie?
Die
Yeah.
Hard, but a school shooting. Uh, my number two is Separation. Um, for almost all year, I literally have said this was probably the worst thing I've seen all year because I absolutely hate it. I want nothing to do with it, and yeah, I can't stand it. But I saw another horror movie that came out this year that I will talk shit about in just a few minutes. But this movie is not scary in the slightest. The twist was bullshit. The acting sucks. Whoever let Rupert Friend make another movie after he ruined Hitman Agent 47 should be fired. Also, the director of this movie, who made The Boy and The Boy 2, um, he should never make a movie again. And he has a new movie coming out, Orphan, First Kill, something I was excited for until I figured out he was the director. This movie was trash from the beginning, and it's on Peacock. If you really want to witness it, be my guest, but I don't recommend it. At least it's free. I spent $10 on it because I saw it with a friend. So I absolutely hate it and want nothing to do with it. And yeah. All right. On to the
All
best. On
right.
to the absolute worst.
Okay. Oh boy. No surprise. Another movie. We cast it. I didn't want to watch this movie, but I'll just say we just got roped into watching this certain movie somehow. I'll just leave it at that. But my number one worst movie is Music. Um, I don't I think you pretty much have heard every person in the world already say what they have said about this movie, and deservedly so. But
Won the Razzie this year.
this was an absolute this was an absolute poor taste on Sia's part. Um, like I could see how something like this could have been good, but the way she approached it, she really went the wrong way about it. Um, and Maddie Ziegler, that's the name of the actress, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Like poor her. She was done really dirty with this movie, and it just honestly made me feel bad for her. The movie just really embarrassed her with like her performance, and obviously, this movie is just like really disrespectful. Um, it's like I just don't know how you could watch a movie like Music and just think that, oh wow, this is going to be something that's in good taste. This is just honestly absolutely offensive to the autistic community. And I think people in that deserve much better representation. And Music just went about it in all the wrong directions. Um, you know, and I don't even know how you get people like Kate Hudson in here, Leslie Odom Jr. in here, Hector Elizondo. You get talented people in here, but I don't know what they're doing being roped into something like this. They could have done a musical film that probably suits them better than something like Music. You know, just like like there's colorful moments in the musical numbers, but it's like that's not really enough to make up just how much in poor taste the overall movie is. It really rubbed me off the wrong way, and by the time the movie was over, I was just really angry. Um, and I just don't know. Honestly, that could be said for a lot of these movies. I just don't know how these movies just get made. Like movies like this, movies like Karen. Um, like I don't know how these kind of movies get made and approved. And even though I haven't even seen the movies like Run, Hide, Fight, what makes these studios just green like these movies and just make them think it's just okay to do it? I just don't think that's personally right. And Music is definitely one of those movies.
Actually, wait. Music didn't win Worst Picture this year. It was nominated, but the movie by a movie by
Yeah, I
the My
think
Pillow
the My
guy.
Pillow won.
Yeah. But
Wait,
Sia
which
won
one?
Worst Director. A movie from the My Pillow guy.
Called like Absolute Proof.
I've never heard of that, but that's
It's
interesting.
about Trump.
Oh, okay, that's all I need to know. But yeah, okay. I'm
Old
probably
man loves
gonna
that movie.
guess that's probably Henry's same number one as well. Because if it is, I think I've said everything I need to say.
Yeah, God, what a fucking bad movie. Like, I was like so not comfortable watching that.
Oh my gosh, it's probably the most uncomfortable experience of the year on top of
Yeah,
that. Sheesh.
like one of the worst movies, not just of the year, but like ever, in my opinion.
Boy,
Like,
it's
like
horrible.
I was like, mm, just why the fuck did like this have to happen? Like, I can see why it was like sitting on the shelf for 3 years because like it was filmed in 2017.
It should have stayed on the shelf.
Yeah, and just No, this terrible film. Like, see us be ashamed, and yeah, I really don't want to talk anymore about this movie. Glad we watched Spy Mate afterwards.
Oh yeah. We watched The Spy Mate, which is a very blessed movie, and definitely made me forget that we watched this horrible, offensive piece of garbage. So
Yes.
yeah, at least that was the highlight of that cast night.
All right. So my number one is a movie. All right. So let me start off by saying I have not seen Music. I refuse to watch it. As somebody with autism myself, it is definitely in poor taste and probably the only movie in the world that I absolutely just boycott because I can't do it. And
Honestly,
it
good.
should have won Worst Picture. I fucking do. I can watch a movie and still hate it, right? I mean, I can not watch a movie and still hate it, right? Because I hate music. I love music, but I hate the movie music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
I'm that one
movie,
that likes to predict opinions, but if you were to see the movie, I have a feeling you would have
Yeah.
really hated, to be honest.
Definitely.
because I never liked Sia's music in the first place. When I heard she was making a movie, I was like, "Fucking what?" Um, but my number one is it's a Paramount Plus exclusive. No, it's not Clifford. Um, it's in a franchise that I've hated every single movie more and more and more and more and more. And it got to the point where I was like, fucking finally, it's done, it's over. And then they announced the seventh one, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I
What?
think I know we're gonna
I
go
think
with
so
this.
too.
And dude, I was sick with COVID, so I was like, fuck it, I have nowhere to go, I can't do anything, so I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it, and I felt worse after it ended. And that is Paranormal Activity. What the fuck was the name of it?
The next
Next
Ken.
of Kin.
I actually
Yeah,
remember the title.
Paranormal Activity: Next of Kin, the most unnecessary movie of the year. We did not need another Paranormal Activity movie. This did not need to be a franchise. This did not need to have 7 fucking movies that have progressively gotten worse and worse and worse as they went on. By the time I saw the first movie, it was so overhyped that it fucking killed it for me. It's like Blair Witch Project all over again. A lot of people near me still think it's like this grand masterpiece, and I'm like, guys, no, the movie fucking sucks. Watch it. No, it's great. No, it's not. It's not great. The third one's the only one that I would actually consider to be somewhat actually watchable, but even then, I fucking hate it. And the fifth one, oh my god, the fifth one was trash, but this one literally takes the Amish and makes them the bad guy. Are you are you serious? And it also takes away ghosts, which kind of kills the point of Paranormal Activity because it's in the name, paranormal.
Oh, and I
Um,
actually haven't seen the Ghost Dimension, but is it worse than the Ghost Dimension for you?
Actually, the marked one's the worst one.
Oh my god,
I hate that one.
terrible.
Fucking hate that one. Way to disrespect the Hispanic community, Paranormal Activity. That movie is these movies just they actually need to end and actually stay ended this time. Like I swear to God, if we get another Paranormal Activity movie, which apparently we are, well, I can just easily not watch it. But I really don't like these movies. And my friend was fucking. My friend hates me enough, I think, where he actually bought them for me for my birthday last year. The first 6. And I'm just sitting, and they sit in my collection. They're not even unwrapped, and I'm not even going to pull it out because it's not worth it. I haven't even opened it. I just put it in there, and I was like, fuck it, I own these movies now. Why not? And, oh, God, dude. Christopher Landon wrote this movie, and he's fresh off of 3 of my favorite slashers. The Happy Death Day movies and Freaky, which Freaky was absolutely amazing. I loved it. A lot of people don't think it's that great, but I loved it. It's actually probably one of my favorite movies of 2020. This movie sucks. I hope it never. I hope these movies end and actually stay over this time. Hell, I already forgot the name, and you just told me what it was. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta pee, so let's end this now.
All right.
Hey,
And one more mediocre.
I was gonna say, should we at least quickly say what's our most disappointing and surprising? We could just do like one pick. It doesn't have to be like a list.
All right, yeah, that works. Um, Go ahead first, Tony.
Okay. Well, if we had to go with disappointing, I already said it, but it's Dear Evan Hansen. If I had to choose a close second, it's Black Widow. That one just really disappointed me. And then Space Jam: A New Legacy would be like number three for me, in all honesty. But yeah, Dear Evan Hansen, if y'all were on my channel and you saw my top five, I put like in my number two for the rest of 2021. I was so excited for it. My friends here, Henry here, saw how excited I was in the video. So when I saw the movie in theaters, you can imagine the massive, and I am talking massive amount of disappointment I have felt watching it. I just I just don't know how a movie like that could go so wrong. The performances, aside from Ben Platt, I do think the performances are really admirable. And, I do like the song You Will Be Found, but not in context of the movie, though. I think it's a really good song out of context, but in context, just no. But yeah, it's a movie where I thought was just going to be the super emotional story that explores mental health really well and the struggles that people go through. And it really does not even explore that at all. It's just a really disappointing and honestly a film that made me did feel uncomfortable, and it just really rubbed me off the wrong way. I was close to hating the movie, in all honesty. It's barely a mediocre movie in my opinion, but yeah, it's definitely my most disappointing movie of the year. So excited, but just so utterly let down. And then if I had to quickly say my most surprising of last year, the Boss Baby Back at Business. I think everyone that has seen my review on my channel for the first one knows that I hated the first one, and I think it's one of the worst movies DreamWorks has done. And when I saw the trailers for the second one in theaters and online, I was also dreading it. I'm going, oh no, I'm truly scared for what I'm in for with this. Obviously, I was hoping for the best, but I was just truly like not looking forward to watching it at all. But I gave it a chance when it was on Peacock, and I actually liked it. Yes, it has some of the bizarreness of the first, but I'd say the bizarreness worked better for me this time around. But I was also surprised by how much heart was in it, because aside from the ending of the first one, there really wasn't much of a heart to it. And I thought the sequel really did a good job of expanding on the heart. So the heart is something that I really liked a lot. And on top of that, I did personally laugh a lot more with this one. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It's pretty solid. My most surprising of the year, Boss Baby 2, Family Business. I think I said Back in Business. I'm thinking of the Netflix show. I'm still sorry. Family Business, I meant to say.
All right,
All right.
Henzo.
My most disappointing is again Space Jam: New Legacy. Like, I think the first one is a pretty good movie. Like, it's I don't know if I'd say it's great, but it's pretty enjoyable. '90s nostalgia, and there's some pretty like funny, self-aware stuff, and
The
there
Pulp
is
Fiction
a
joke.
yeah, there is like some of that here, but it just like did not work for me. Like the emotions like feel pretty forced, and like also like the basketball game feels like it's 4 hours long, and
Oh, the basketball game felt so long, dude.
yeah,
Oh
like
my god.
All right,
I,
basketball game was the stupidest fucking thing I've seen all
yeah,
year, or one of them anyway.
like there were funny parts, like the Michael B. Jordan thing was funny, and
That was easily the funniest part of the movie.
yeah, and Don Cheadle and LeBron James seemed to be having a good time, but I unfortunately was not having that good a time. And for most surprising, I'm gonna say again, Those Who Wish Me Dead, because I'm not like the biggest Taylor Sheridan fan. Like Sicario, like I love Denis Villeneuve, but that movie was just like okay to me because I wasn't that interested in the story. But I liked like Hell or High Water though. But this one, like, it was like really intense. Like I thought Angelina Jolie was really good, and John Bernthal, and yeah, that was really
Still
good
haven't seen
stuff.
it yet.
Yeah, definitely recommend it.
All right. For most surprising film I've seen all year was probably going to be Free Guy, maybe, or Cruella. Probably Cruella, because I hate Disney remakes. There's only been like two that I actually think are good: Jungle Book and Cruella. Um, I love the soundtrack to this movie. I'm a huge '70s music nut, and this movie had a perfect soundtrack. It's probably the best part of the movie. Um, I listened to it on repeat for like 3 or 4 weeks since after I saw the movie. Emma Stone was great in the role. Story was great. The CGI and the dogs was a little weird, but I really liked it, and I can't wait for the sequel. For most disappointing film of the year, I wasn't super hyped about it, but I was kind of anticipating it because of the way the other ones were. Um, and I'm a huge fan of the video games. Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. Now this movie probably would have sucked either way because of the director, 47 Meters Down, and The Strangers Pray at Night. This movie was such a big disappointment. There's only one scene in it that I actually liked, and that was the zombie shootout scene at the mansion. The CGI sucks. There's a scene at the end of the movie with the CGI cow getting blown up or something like that. And I just remember laughing my ass off in the theater at how stupid it was. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of the games. And like, this is basically like a live action version of the first two video games. But so you have all these characters that they're trying to make you care about, but there's so much shit going on that you just don't. And the way they made Leon Kennedy ruined the character. It's just in the worst possible way. I fucking hated Leon in that movie. I don't know if you guys saw it. I did. I saw it opening night. Chose to see it instead of another movie, Hasaguchi, which I really liked. But God, man, what a disappointment. And I'm not saying I'll buy it because I own the other 6 Resident Evil movies, and they're way better than Paul W.S. Anderson's movies. But I mean, still, and he executive produced this one, so he's still technically attached to Resident Evil. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us for the last 2.5 hours. We greatly appreciate it. And we love you, and we hope to see you again here pretty soon. Do you two have anything else to say?
I think we are just as long as Avengers Infinity War now. So
Yes.
that's blessed right there. And two, this is my first time really being on your channel, Timothy. So it's been honestly awesome just to appear on your channel. So just thank you so much. And yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And this is fun.
Yeah, we'll do it again some other time. We'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment, watch some movies. Just not Paranormal Activity, whatever the fuck it's called.
7.
Whatever.